So we're going to be setting up with our bolster behind us and a block on our bolster. And we're going to start in a supported heart opening posture to get our breathing moving effectively this morning. So you're just going to scooch a few inches in front of your bolster and find the bottom edge rim of your rib cage. And that's what we're looking to find, the bolster, so the lower spine is free of the bolster. And then we're just going to lie back and have our head supported by the block. If you need a blanket on the block, you can make your own adjustments, but just elevating the head here a little bit above the heart and the lungs. Your legs, if they want to stretch out, they could stretch out. If the low back feels a little tender, you can find a bent knee position. You could choose cobbler if your hips are ready to go there, but I'd recommend legs out or knees bent. Just landing here, coming home into your own inner awareness this morning as we're held in this field of grace and support together on this journey of our practice. And so I'm just going to invite you to just start with arms resting by your sides and just begin to notice your natural breath this morning. How it's just normally flowing for you. Is it flowing with ease? Does it feel constricted? Just noticing. And on the next few exhales, I invite you to release them slowly out your mouth. Maybe even with an audible sigh. Allowing some discharge of energy from maybe your week or your morning. The eclipse season that we're flowing slowly away from, but still has powerful reverberating effects personally and collectively. Let's take one more deep breath in, exhaling audible sigh. And returning back to your natural breath. So we're going to come into our yogic breath. And you're welcome to use your hands as kind of a guidepost here of our 3-part yogic breath. So hands on the belly or awareness there. And just beginning to breathe more consciously into your hands on your belly. The belly is a bowl, so we're breathing into all sides of it as we breathe in. And it becomes like a balloon as we empty out on all sides, softening toward the spine. And let's come into nose breathing or ujjayi breath, where our nose is our inhale and our exhale. And we begin to bring a little bit of that soft tone into the back of the throat, into the glottis. And your breath becomes more audible in your ears. First part of our yogic breath, breathing into all sides of the belly. Turning on our parasympathetic nervous system, our ability to rest and digest. And then we're going to let our hands or awareness move up to our side ribs, elbows resting on the earth. And the second part of our yogic breath, after we breathe into the belly, is breathing into the wings here of our rib cage, and they move out, filling up the lower lobes of your lungs. And as you exhale, the ribs soften back in toward each other. Belly, ribs, and then emptying out ribs, and then belly. And now we have the next layer of activation of our parasympathetic nervous system through breathing into the lower lobes of our lungs. See if your breath can continue moving into your back ribs as you breathe into your side ribs, so that the wings, your back lungs, receive your in-breath. And they also get to receive your out-breath, the softening. Moving up into the third part of our yogic breath, hands can rest on the chest or awareness can drop there. Breathing into the belly, the ribs, and now the chest, neck, and head. And then exhaling, softening the chest, the ribs, and the belly. So continuing to breathe your three parts in and emptying out from the top of your cup to the bottom as you empty out. Eventually, these three parts really become just one fluid movement from the bottom of your cup, your tailbone, your belly, all the way to the top of your cup of your head. And then emptying out your cup from the top all the way back down to the bottom. Yogic breath is our medicine, our gateway of peace, or to our peace within. If you're feeling off in any way, come back to your yogic breath. This is the breath of self-love and nervous system regulation. So if you're feeling dysregulated, the best thing you can do for yourself is to come back to your yogic breath. So let these breaths just flow with a little bit just more union, fluidity for another few rounds. And at the bottom of your next exhalation, you can just release the focus and just breathe naturally. And notice how you feel. With your legs stretched out, or if your knees are bent, that's fine too, but just let your hips rock a little bit side to side. Let the legs wiggle. Good. Now let's take our arms slowly up over our head and reach toward the wall behind us. Take a full body stretch here. If your legs are straight, you can point and flex your ankles and feet. And then we'll all meet with our feet on the earth, knees bent, and we're going to slowly, mindfully roll off the bolster and onto our side and into fetal pose. And then let the earth support you as you slowly bring yourself back up and find your way into a comfortable seat. Sitting on your bolster or your blanket. And we're going to make our way through some wake up tapping, some lymphatic clearing. So we're going to find our fingers, one or both hands, come to the top of the sternum, gently massaging or lightly tapping on any of the points I'm going to guide us through. Deep breaths in. Let's come into exhale out the mouth and just support some gentle movement of energy. Deep breaths. That open channel for your yogic breath to come in to recharge your cells and to cleanse your cells. Good. We'll come on either side of the sternum. We'll go under the collarbone knobs here, lightly massage or tap. All right, on the kidney endpoints here. Deep breath in, exhaling out. Good. We're going to come to the side ribs, onto the spleen points. You can go in between the ribs and get really juicy, or you can keep it really just light and surfacey here as you massage and breathe. We do a lot with nurturing our spleen and our stomach and our inner earth element this morning. Our blood, this practice of self-care, self-love, helping to balance all the other elements in us. So we're going to take our fingers now to the cheekbones, tapping lightly or massage. Right here on the first 3 points of our stomach meridian. So this meridian runs down the front of the body to the second toes. It grounds, it nourishes. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Good. And then give it a little shake out here. And we're going to come up to our left side of our chest with our right fingers, right where the arm and the chest seam meet. And we're going to massage here in this crevice. Deep breaths in. Exhaling out. We're going to move through our lymphatic points now for our organs. So this is stomach, heart, deep breath. Exhaling out. Good. And then we'll come over to the other side and helping to move toxins, helping to boost our immune system. So some of these might feel tender. Good places to work. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Good. Shake out the hands. We're coming to the top of the sternum bone with both hands. And now we're going to go down the sternum and massage. Clearing the lungs. So as we move through these lymphatics, we also help to move emotions as our organs hold. So you might feel a flutter of emotion. Just honoring that. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Good. Now we're going to come back up here on either side of the sternum under the top two ribs. And it's kind of like we're raking here the cartilage. But we're going through another set of lung points and some gallbladder points. So you can go down to the next section in between the ribs. Spend a breath or two. If it feels really good, stay longer. If it's really intense, just stay as long as you can manage today. Take some breaths and move on. Eventually, we're going to come in between the breasts, right in between the ribs here. Clearing through the lungs and kidney points here. Deep breath in. Exhaling out. We can hold a lot of grief, specifically in these points here. Let's take another breath. Good. Shake it out. We're going to come now underneath the breast, the half moon shape of the breast, and clear the liver under the right breast and clear the stomach lymphatic points under the left breast. We're going to come right underneath the rib cage now from the bottom of the sternum out to the sides of the ribs here, clearing the small intestine. One more breath here. Good. Shake it on out. Take your 2 index fingers, bring them into your belly button. And we're going to go 2 inches out from the belly button. Press in and massage here on the lymphatic points for our bladder. Deep breath in. Exhaling out. So we're accessing points for these organs. We're not necessarily on the organ. The bladder's further south. But these points help to clear both the organ of the bladder and the meridian of the bladder. Oh, those are tender on me. So we're going to go an inch up now. From that spot, press in, and massage the kidneys. Ooh. Deep breaths. Exhaling out. Okay, we got one more spot. We're going an inch up, pressing in, and now we're on the adrenals. Ooh, deep breath. Tender. Yeah, be gentle. Whew. Good. Just kind of give your belly a nice little rub. Oh, your sweet bellies. And then give the hands a little shake out here. We're going to go down now to the hip flexors and clear our ileocecal, Houston, valve, lymphatic points. Good. And then go ahead and just let your legs kind of stretch out. Give them a little shake. Shake out the hands. We're going to take 2 fists one over to the right thigh. We're going to go inside seam and outside seam of your pants. You might even have a seam there. And we're going to clear the small intestine and the large intestine. So we're going to massage and work our way toward the right knee. And you'll move on and find another spot to massage. Really digging in, like I should see grimaces, I should hear, you know, so you gotta really get in there. Good. And then we'll come back up. So if your bowels are a little loose right now, then going up from the knee to the hip and doing a couple passes really helps solidify the bowels. If you felt a little backed up, then going down toward the knee is a good way to go. And if you're like, I'm healthy, then just go down and come up. Shake it off, and then we'll go to the other leg. Just digging in, inside, outside seam. The outside seam is the large intestine, lymphatic points. The inside seam is small intestine. Good, brush down the leg. Oh, shake it out, shake out the legs. Bring the soles of the feet together, come into seated cobbler. We're going to take our thumbs now to kidney 1 at the base of the foot. Remember, we scrunch our toes. We find that dimple between the big toe mound and second toe mound. And we're going to pulse kidney 1 here, pressing in and releasing. As we take some deep breaths. It's really a supportive practice for the immune system this morning. And you can always choose to just do 1 foot at a time and then switch. You don't have to do them both at the same time. Okay, 1 more breath here, pulsing, pulsing. Thank you, immune system, for how hard you work and for being resilient and adaptable. Okay, we're going to bring our knees up and we're going to access now and clear the gates of our feet. So we can do both feet at a time. We could just do 1 foot at a time, but we're going to take our thumbs in between the pinky and 4th toes. On the top of the foot, you'll see your long bones. You're going to go in between the long bones and you're going to press into the gully. So the gully is in between the toes. It's that painful little spot, and you're going to pinch off and say, wow, I had no idea that was that painful. And then you'll go to the next channel of long bones in between the next set of toes. You're pushing, and then you're pinching in your gully. And this is called clearing the gate. So we're accessing a lot of different meridians. We're opening channels. We're clearing the lymphatics as well. And stagnation. So keep breathing. Clear all the gullies of your feet. And then come back to your pinky toes and go right to the base of the pinky toes. And we're going to gently massage up the pinky toe and then pinch off the top. Oh, and if you have felt no pain thus far, maybe this will be interesting for you. And so now we're just clearing the toes. We've got eye and sinus points on the tops of the toes. So you can do that more, like even more lovingly, like with some oil, like before your bath or after. That was kind of the quick and dirty version. So let's come back into either cobbler, or you can cross your legs, whichever position calls to you. Let's just take a moment here and just pause and breathe and feel. We're going to take our hands in front of our pubic bone. And before we go anywhere, we're going to visualize roots growing out of our sitting bones and deep into the earth. Maybe your roots have a light or a color, or they look like actual roots, whatever works for you. It's helping to ground your energy and connect you to the energy of the earth. And notice how the roots go down, and then they connect with all of each other's roots, and we connect with the community of roots. And so we're both on our individual journey, but we're also all connected. So as you inhale, let your hands slowly zip up your front body like you're zipping up a hoodie. And then we're going to flip our palms and stretch up toward the sky, and then exhale around our body. So now we're going to work with our energy field. So we're inhaling up, we're zipping up our energy so nobody else's energy can come in unless we allow it. And then we're clearing and strengthening our energetic boundaries. If you're someone who notices if energy gets sticky, you're thinking about everyone else's lives and situations all the time, that's sticky energy. This is a great way to help clear so that you have full access to your personal energy, which we all need to navigate our daily lives, to thrive, to heal, to grow, to recover, whatever we're navigating right now. We need all our energy. So this is a great practice to do. And then we're going to take one finger into our belly button and one finger between the eyebrows, and we'll press in and we'll pull up and take 3 more breaths. And anchor our personal energy back to our body, back to our center, where our peace and our wisdom and all the love we will ever need reside within here. Let's take one more breath, anchoring that in. Good. Release the hands, shake them out. Now you can come into cross-legged, you could come into hero pose if that's in your practice. We're going to do a little bit of opening for the shoulders and the chest here. And so we're first going to start with taking our arms up overhead, taking a deep breath in, and exhaling out, reaching up toward the sky as we root our sitting bones down. And then we're going to take a hold of our right wrist. And we're going to inhale the wrist up toward the sky and exhale side bend to our left. Breathing here as we stay anchored down through the roots of our hips and our legs. And inhaling, coming up, releasing over to the other wrist. Exhaling to the right, anchoring through the left sitting bone. Good. And then inhaling back up, exhaling the arms back and around. We're going to take our hands onto our shoulders here. We're going to inhale the elbows up toward the sky and exhale them back and around. So just nice and slow with your breath, shoulder circles. Stay heavy, weighted, grounded through your sitting bones and legs. As your side bodies lift, your rib cage lifts away from your pelvis to take your elbows back and around. So generating energy here through our shoulders, circulation. And one more time. Good. Releasing the arms, shake them out. We're going to take our hands now behind our head into a hand clasp. And as we gently press our head back into our hands, our elbow wings are going to open away from each other. And now our heart is going to lift toward the sky, shoulder blades drawing toward each other into this cow shape. Take a breath in. Exhale, slowly curl your spine, cat pose. As your head drops, your elbows draw toward each other. Take another breath here in the cat form. And then inhaling, slowly rising back up. So really it's like we're becoming butterflies. We're a week away from the spring equinox. And there's definitely some caterpillars in their chrysalis who are dreaming about becoming butterflies. And that energy reflects perhaps into your own life, where you might feel like, I'm good in the chrysalis, I'm not ready to open my wings yet. Or maybe you're ready, you're just like, I'm ready to break out and open my wings. So wherever you're at is perfect in your butterfly metamorphosis. Good. One more time through each movement. Inhale to slowly stack your cervical spine of your neck. Exhale, release your wings. And just pause to feel. Okay, we're going to make our way slowly onto our feet into a bent knee forward bend position or hang. So slowly bringing the feet under your hips, letting your chest meet or head toward your thighs. Hands on elbow tips, blocks for the earth. Head is dropping. So as we hang toward the earth, we're taking 5 to 10 deep breaths here once you feel like you're ready and set up and supported. Bringing in this massage into the stomach, the spleen. Bringing in gravity to release tension out of our bones, our back, our neck. Relax through your jaw. Maybe the head wants to slowly turn side to side and nod up and down. And then we'll take our hands onto our big toes. And as we slowly rise to standing, we're sweeping the spleen meridian. So hands sweep to your inner ankle bones. Pull up the inside seam of your legs. You're going really slow. All the way up to your hip flexors. You're smoothing out to your hip bones. Pulling up the side ribs to the shoulders. Circling back down to the side ribs and massaging here on the end points of the spleen meridian. Deep breath in. Exhaling out. Our spleen is our primary carrier of our chi, our energy, our vitality. Takes everything that we take in, food, drink, emotions, anything, and it helps send it to our organs so that they have energy to function. So these spleen points, we're going to be rubbing a few times. All right, go ahead and shake it out. Grab your blocks. And we're going to come into our version of a squat this morning. And we're just warming up, so it's okay if you need your most supportive version. That could look like sitting on your bolster with your knees tucked in toward your chest and your spine lifting. Another option could be your blanket is rolled and either is under your heels or goes behind your knees if you're needing more support behind the knee joints. And then rolling onto the balls of your feet, heels lifted or feet onto the earth. So finding your most supportive squat. The blocks are here to just support the lift of your spine. And whatever you're choosing right now, the hips are descending. Even if your hips are supported right now with a bolster, they are lower than your knees. Yeah, so you want to be in a supported position. And we're hugging, the tops of our thigh bones are connecting to our low abdomen. So we've got this squeeze in the digestive and the elimination organs. Just take a few breaths, land here in your body. Are you in the most loving, kind position for your body in this moment? And then your left hand can find the block or it can be on the floor. And we're going to take a gentle twist now in our belly, slowly to the right. The right hand can slide to your right hip. As you breathe into the bowl of your belly. And then maybe that right arm, maybe it wants to reach up toward the sky, maybe it doesn't want to. But whichever, you can keep the arm low, and we're going to rotate the wrist in one direction and the other direction. And then we're going to flick each finger on the thumb, and then do it again. And then all the fingers on the thumb a few times. Good. Taking a deep breath in. As you exhale, you're going to make a figure eight to the side of your body here. Horizontal figure eight, like you're washing a window. It's your energy field you're washing here. Good. And then we're going to come back to center. And we're twisting slowly to the left. Right hand on block or floor, left hand on hip. Breathing into your low belly. Maybe that left arm wants to reach up toward the sky and rotate with that left wrist in one direction, or do it low if it doesn't want to lift, and then go the other direction. And then flick each finger on your thumb. Then again, and then all the fingers on the thumb. Good. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Here's that horizontal figure eight. You're cleaning the side of your energy field here. Good. Come back to center. You're doing great. Take your hands on your blocks. We're coming out. Slowly, mindfully, feet are on the earth. Hips rise back up. Walk your feet in toward your blocks. Forward bend here. We're straightening our legs. Kneecaps lifting toward our hips. Thigh bones moving back. And then let your knees softly bend. Let your chest move toward your thighs. Release your head into your forward bend. Again, we're going to inhale, come up halfway. Maybe fingertips come to blocks or hands on shins. Breathe here in this half or Ardha Uttanasana half lift. So our spine is extending out of our hips. And there's a tilt here in our pelvis, like the pelvis is a bowl. So we're pouring the bowl toward the earth. helping to take us into this forward bend with more ease for our lumbar spine. And then a gentle, soft bend in the knees as again, your head releases toward the earth, heart toward your legs. Good. We'll take our hands on our big toes again and we'll trace up the spleen meridian, hands to the inner ankles. Slowly pulling up the inside seam of the legs, drawing up that earth energy out to the hip bones, up the side ribs to the shoulders, circling down to the side ribs. Deep breaths, exhaling out. Good. If you need to shake it out, let the body shake out. We are heading back down to the earth. So we're going to make our way onto our backs. And if you want a little blanket support for your head, you can bring that in. And then just have your blocks and your bolster within reach. All the way down onto our backs here. And when we arrive, we're just going to draw those knees right back in toward the chest, kind of like we're doing our squat here on our back. You can be still or you can rock side to side. And then we're going to take our hands onto our kneecaps. Our kneecaps are moving out away from the body and then separating them out and toward the chest, making hip circles in your hips and knees with your breath. And then switching directions. Then we're going to take our feet back to the earth, hip distance apart. So our heels are walking in toward our buttocks. And if you peek at your feet, the sides of your feet are parallel to the edges of your mat. And we're going to move through our flowing bridge pose here. Taking a moment to ground our feet into the earth. And then inhaling the hips up toward the sky into bridge. Lighting up your back body with muscle support. And then as you exhale, relaxing through your back body as your hips soften into the soil of the earth. Inhale, hips rise up, maybe arms reach up and overhead, resting on or near the floor. And as you exhale, they come back down with you to the earth. So feel the roots of your feet lighting up your bridge here. Reaching, lifting your bridge because you're rooted. And then turn on your back body. Let your buttocks really support your bridge. We're in this transition from winter into spring. We're in this bridge time. It's a slow time. And it's a time of transition. So how do we nourish ourselves, ground ourselves, love ourselves while things that once were are no longer, or they have a different flavor, like the weather. Things are just not as they always are. So how do we navigate that with more ease? Well, a lot of that comes to loving yourself and taking care of yourself. staying grounded, not getting too blown away with the fierce winds of life. So the next time your hips are lifted, you can keep arms overhead or come down to your sides with your arms and stay in your bridge pose. Can your inner thighs activate a little bit more, supporting your knees? Come back to your Ujjayi breath here. Let your breath support you during times of stress. We're stressing our bodies right now, being in bridge. They're working, they're activating. You decide when you are ready to come out. Relaxing back toward the earth. And then just letting your legs stretch out one at a time down the earth. And you can stay in stillness or you can rock it out. Rock your hips and legs side to side. Releasing tension, soothing your nervous system. And then find stillness again. Okay, so we're going to come back into our bridge. Check in with your feet again. We often think that they're straight ahead, but usually one's renegading it and turning in or out. So we're going to come back into our bridge this time. Hips rising through the roots of hands and feet. And then we're going to walk our bridge. So we're going to be lifting our right knee toward the chest. Really have to turn on our left buttocks, our back, our core as we lower our foot down. The left knee travels slowly in toward the chest. We really turn on that right buttocks. So you're going at your own pace here. You're walking your bridge if you'd like, or just be in your bridge, both feet on the earth, if that's feeling better. Go slow. Work from the deep part of you, so that might only be doing 1 or 2, and then needing to come down to rest. And then let's all find ourselves back on the earth when you feel complete. And stretch your legs out again. Relax them on the earth. Notice if your legs are balanced. Are they the same length? Is one longer? That might be for many reasons. One might be longer, but just noticing energetically, are you feeling steady through the roots of your legs, feet? Okay, so we're going to walk our feet now over to the right diagonal as far as they'll travel together as one zipped up unit. So our feet are flexed, our legs are hugged together. And then we're going to take our arms up overhead and take a hold of our left wrist. And we're going to gently reach the wrist away from the left hip and arc our spine, our head, and our arm over to the right, any amount. So we're looking for moderate sensation through the left hip, obliques, rib cage, armpit. And maybe that left leg wants to cross over and hug on the outer right foot, deepening this opening. So you might even feel it down into your IT band from hip to outer knee. I'm taking a few breaths here. Uncross back to center. Arms can stay overhead, and we'll walk our legs over to the left diagonal. Legs are hugged together. Take a hold of the right wrist, gently extend it away from the right hip, and then arcing your spine over to the left. Taking the arm with you, and then option to cross that right leg over the left leg. Again, we're just looking for moderate sensation, so if it's too much, please back off. Less is more. And then see if your right hip can anchor itself a little bit back toward the earth. Nice, yeah. Good. And then we'll release back to center. Let the arms come back down. And then we're going to bend our knees again and walk our feet back in toward our buttocks. So we're going to be working even more here, kind of isolating the core. Your buttocks will light up too. This is very core focused. So we're going to be taking our right arm and we're going to reach it up overhead toward the wall behind us or toward the floor like we're raising our hand. And then we're going to draw our left knee in toward the chest, and our right hand is going to connect with our left knee. And then we're using our core to slowly lower our left foot down and lower our right arm back overhead. So lifting hand to knee, using the core to lower back down. So this is all slow. This isn't just throwing the legs around. Slower is better. And you have the option to keep your knee bent as it is, or straighten your leg and take hand to shin or knee, and then let that leg that's straight stay straight all the way back to the earth. Yes, you got it. Straight leg or knee bent. Breathe. Option, if your leg is straight, to lift your head chest off the earth when your hand touches your left leg, and then to lower the head and the arm down. That's if your neck is feeling that that's okay to do. You don't need to do that part to receive the strengthening through the core. Beautiful. One more time. And then lower down, and let's just straighten the legs and pause to feel. Relax your belly, rock out your hips and legs side to side, just shaking it out. Okay, second side. Knees are bent. Left arm reaches up, it goes overhead, rests on or near the floor. Draw your low ribs down toward your hip bones, turning on your core muscles. And then it's hand to knee, crosses the body, the hand. Left hand to right knee, and then lowering down and moving slowly. You could choose to straighten your right leg, hand to shin, and then that right leg lower straight all the way to the earth. A third option would be to lift your head, chest when your hand touches your straight leg, only if that feels yummy for your neck. And once you feel balanced on both sides, you slowly come out and find your legs stretched down the mat on the earth and rest. And we'll take our arms overhead and just take a full body stretch here, flexing and pointing ankles and feet, really lengthening through those core muscles. Good. Okay, we're going to bend our knees again, feet hip distance apart. And we're going to take our right leg, stretch it up toward the sky. And then we're slowly bending our right knee. As it moves out and away, eventually your right ankle finds your left thigh. And then that right knee keeps moving away. So your right hip is opening into figure 4 or pigeon. Now, if this is feeling yummy and good and enough, you're just going to stay here. If you'd like to deepen the expression, you could lift your left foot off the earth and slowly draw your left thigh toward your chest while your right knee is still moving out and away in this hip opener. And then if it's available, let your left hand find your left kneecap and then slide underneath your kneecap so you're right underneath it. It's like you've put a cuff right over your upper shin here, over stomach 36 acupressure point. And your right hand is going to cross the body, find your left elbow tip, and then just go slightly above the elbow tip to the lower upper arm and hold here. Light pressure. We're on a triple warmer point, which is part of our nervous system. Our shoulders are relaxed. Our hips can be still. We could rock side to side. Come back to your breath. And you might even start to feel some pulsing under your hands. So if you're doing light pressure, you might feel pulsing or tingling or warmth. So this is helping to just settle our nervous system, reset it. Good. And then we'll release the left foot back to the earth, the hands release, the right leg stretches up toward the sky, and the right foot finds the mat. Second side, left leg extends up toward the sky. We're slowly bending the left knee. It's rotating out and away as that left ankle finds your right thigh. The foot is flexed as you continue moving that left knee out and away. Good. So you can stay right here. You could choose to pick up the right foot and slowly draw the thigh toward the chest into the deeper pigeon. The right hand finds the kneecap and slides just below it, kind of that upper shin to cover stomach 36. And then the left hand crosses the body, finds the tip of the right elbow and just slides just above it. Light pressure here, relax through the arms, be still or rock your hips as you breathe. Anytime we can rock, shake our body, so soothing and helpful for our nervous system. When our nervous system feels safe, it feels balanced and relaxed, we just heal with greater ease. Maybe noticing if you feel pulsing or heat or tingling under your hands. 3 more breaths here. Slowly release when you're ready. Bring your feet back to hip distance apart. We're going to move through one more flowing bridge pose with your breath, lifting the hips off the earth as high as it feels okay for you. That might not be very high this morning, that is okay. We're just going to move through our flowing bridge. We're breathing. We're feeling into the support of our back body as our hips rise up. And then we're giving permission for our back body to relax, our front body, our belly to soften as we come back to the earth. And then find your bridge pose, hips lifted, back body activated, buttocks turned on. Ujjayi breath with the tone in the back of your throat. You decide when you're ready to come down and relax. And once you're back to the earth, soften the buttocks and let the arms stretch out now onto the earth with your butterfly wings straight out from your shoulders. Our hips are going to lift a couple inches off the earth. And then we're going to shift them a couple inches to the right and then lower them down. Our knees are going to hug in together and toward the chest any amount. And then we're going to let our knees slowly release to the left. So that outer left knee makes contact perhaps with the floor as your right shoulder blade is anchoring on the mat. If that's not happening, you could always rest your outer left knee on your bolster. So that's not so far of a stretch. And then option here to straighten the right leg and to bring your left fingers behind the popliteal crease here of your right knee, gently pressing in on these gallbladder points. Option to turn your head back toward the right hand, bringing a little stretch into your neck. So recline twist here. One more breath here. Bring your head back to center, release your knee, draw the knees up. Let one foot at a time come back to the earth. Set your hips underneath you again. And then lift them, shift them over to the left, lower them down. Knees hug together in toward the chest, slowly releasing them to either your bolster under the right thigh or the floor. The left shoulder blade is planted, and maybe the head turns toward the left hand. This left leg can stay bent, or you could straighten it out, bringing your right fingers to press behind the left knee crease on these gallbladder points here. So your version of your twist that's feeling most loving and easeful and gentle. One more cycle of breath here. And slowly transitioning back out, 1 foot at a time, back to the earth. Hips settling underneath you again. And then grab your bolster, lift your hips up, and set your hips right at the center of the bolster. The only caveat here is if you're menstruating this morning, you're going to just come into Shavasana now with not your hips elevated on the bolster, but just on the mat, legs stretched out. Or if that's calling to you, instead of this supported shoulder stand. So with the legs, you can let the legs come up above your hips. If that's calling to you, if not, you could come right into Shavasana. We will head there in a moment. So the earth element in the body, it governs our blood. And here we're moving our blood, the circulation of our blood from our feet, calves, low legs down into our muscles and tissues and joints and organs and all the way to our brain, which is why elevating our legs above our heart is so calming for our mind. We'll spend a few moments here. You can always slowly transition before I guide you to do that. Let your belly soften. Let your jaw relax. Be nourished here by your own blood. And when you're ready, you'll let your knees slowly bend toward the chest and the heels release toward your buttocks for a breath or two to now move the blood back down into the legs and feet. Then 1 foot at a time comes to the mat. You can lift your hips up and move your bolster south to rest under the backs of your knees or any other position you would like it to be in as we transition here into Shavasana. Make sure you're warm enough, and if you're in the room and you'd like another blanket on your body, you can raise your hand. feel ready, slowly make your way onto your side into fetal posture. Let your belly release toward the earth. Let your hands be supported by the earth and bringing you back into a comfortable seat. And I invite you to bring one hand over your belly, one hand over your heart. Take a moment to notice how you're feeling. Let's close our time together. We're going to chant the sound of Om one time. Let's take a deep breath in together. Namaste.